No beep today. Hello, good day, geometry. We are moving on to CO21, which is a whole big review of last year algebra. What was it? PO20, PO28, and PO29. All about slope and using it to determine the relationship of lines on the corner plane. Which, when we're talking about relationships of lines, we're talking about parallelity and perpendicularity. Okay. So for starters, reviewing slope. How do we define it?
Define gravity.
Not defy it. How can we define it? Yes, Priya, back to your spot. Chance.
Y2 plus Y1 divided by X2 over X1.
So you just gave me the slope formula, which is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. That's important. Okay. Bear in mind, you can reverse that. You could go Y1 minus Y2 over X1 minus X2. As long as you're consistent, the order doesn't really make a difference. But that is how you find slope given two ordered pairs. Right? That should ring a bell from last year. James.
The slope of a line.
The slope of a line, which describes, Christopher?
The rise over the run.
Rise over run is kind of a fancy catch name for it, but really it's
The direction.
how a line moves across the coordinate plane. How a line moves across the coordinate plane. And rise over run is kind of the catchphrase for that. Rise over run. The four types of slope. What are the four types of slope? Which really it's three types of slope and then kind of an imposter, sticking with the Among Us theme. But slope can be, what type of slope is that? It's going up from left to right. Positive slope. Slope can be negative if it goes from down from left to right.
Can it be like horizontal?
Could it be straight?
So if it's horizontal, slope is considered to be zero.
Can it be curved?
Vertical.
It can't be curved because slope only exists with linear functions
So it
by
can be
definition
vertical.
have two lines. So this is the imposter. You can't actually have a vertical slope because there's no run. There has to be run. And so what would this slope be considered?
Undefined.
Not infinite, it's undefined. Because if there's no run, what does that mean the denominator of our slope fraction is? If there's no run, what does it mean that number is? Zero. And we have a problem when we divide a number by zero. Just ask Siri. And then it is an undefined slope. So three types of legit slope and then one imposter. And it's because the run cannot be zero. Emmett.
What's 0 divided by 0?
Undefined. Hugo.
If they made an imaginary number for the square root of -1, why can't they make an imaginary number for 0 divided by 0? Or
You know, Hugo, I might take the rest of the school year off and work on that and become famous. That's a brilliant idea.
Maybe we get a new teacher.
Yeah, you would. So win-win for all, right?
Wait, actually, you can make a lot of money off that.
You could. Just make something up. You're right.
I may do this. Honestly, I just.
No, I said it first.
No,
Dibs.
no.
I recorded it. Dibs. Okay? Yeah, but it's on recording me saying it first. So, dibs. Parallel lines. Well, I said I was going to do it first, and I'll give you like 5% of my profits. Parallel lines. What do we know about parallel lines and slope, James?
Two lines that did not cross each other.
Okay, and they never intersect because they never intersect because why?
Like same slope.
Same slope. If the lines are moving across the corner plane at the same rate, the same direction, the same everything, they're never going to intersect. Okay? Just like you will always be the exact age difference you are now from a parent or sibling or friend or whatever, because we're all aging at the exact same rate. Right? Well, don't get morbid on us. Perpendicular lines. What is true about the slope of perpendicular lines? Evan.
Do they have the opposite each other slope?
So the fancy name for it, negative reciprocal. Which basically means the fraction is flipped and the sign changes. Okay? So if you have a slope of a over b, a perpendicular line will have a slope of negative b over a, and vice versa. If your slope is negative b over a, it'd be a positive a over b, something that is perpendicular to it. Okay? So your job in this objective is to use the slope formula to find the slope of lines A and B, and then determine, based on their slopes, are they parallel lines? Are they perpendicular lines? Or are they neither one of those special things, they're just lines? Yes, we did this last year. It's a nice review.
Is this like the same exact thing as we did last year?
Yes.
Very much. That's why I can speed run it, right? Well, okay. Questions on the information you've been provided so far? Evan, please say. Questions on the information you've been provided so far?
Why'd you become a math teacher?
That's not information you've been provided so far. I like my summers off. Even though I do all summer long. Okay, which one would you like to do together? First, second, third, or fourth? Third, very well. Oh, it's got the big number in it?
Yeah, that's scary.
So for line A, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we have negative 9 minus 15 over 0 minus negative 8. Don't forget, if your value is negative and you're subtracting it, it actually ends up being addition. So that gives us negative 24 over positive 8 as a slope. Okay? B, we have negative 67 minus 233, again, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1, negative 48 minus 52. Negative 67 minus 233 is negative 300. Negative 48 minus 52 is negative 100.
Wait, oh, it's actually.
Okay. Now,
Wait, second.
if you're not simplifying these slopes, you're going to get neither for pretty much all of them. This one ends up being neither as well, but it's a lot closer than you might think. Negative 24 over positive 8 reduces to be negative 3.
Oh, it is.
Negative 300 divided by negative 100 reduces to be positive 3.
So it would be 1/3.
Okay? If these lines were perpendicular, with the slope of negative 3 for the first one, line B would have to be 1/3 positive. So again, it ends up being a lot closer than it seems on the surface. But if you don't simplify and you see these numbers here, you're like, well, that's not even close. Turns out it is. Okay? Why you'll fail this test, or this objective on the test, is because either A, you don't write the formula down and you do the formula wrong, okay? Or B, you don't simplify fractions, and what should be parallel or should be perpendicular ends up being neither because you don't simplify. These, however, ends up being neither anyway, because negative 3 and positive 3, they're not the same, so they're not parallel. They're also not negative reciprocals, and so they are not perpendicular either.
If that was normal 8, that would be
A week from.
Is one neither?
So, that is your task. The brain buster says a line that has a slope of negative 5 halves. Write 2 ordered pairs of a line that is parallel to this. Write 2 ordered pairs of a line that is perpendicular to this. So, for the parallel line, you're writing 2 ordered pairs that when you put them into this slope formula, will still give you negative 5 halves. So your y2 minus y1, your x2 minus x1 should result in negative 5 over 2. Okay? For the perpendicular, your ordered pairs, when you plug them into the formula, should end up equaling what? Positive 2/5. Positive 2 over 5. Okay? So you're writing ordered pairs that when you put them into the formula, gets you a slope of negative 5 halves for the parallel line. And the second set of ordered pairs that when you plug them into the formula, gets you a slope of 2/5 for a perpendicular line. Then, finally, think about your understanding of the concept of slope. What slope would be a good design for a water slide? How about a wheelchair ramp? Why?
1,000,000 over 0.1.
For the water slide or the wheelchair ramp?
Slide. Both.
90 degrees.
A million? That would be super long though. Oh, wait, oh, it's,
Rise over
oh,
1.
right, oh,
Wait,
Yeah,
over
a near vertical drop.
12.1.
A near vertical drop. Okay, this is due on Monday. That is how you math.
1,000,000 over
Thanks, folks.